So good evening. I'm just going to ramble a bit. Thank God I can edit this video. So it's March 16th and just doing some reflection. Glad that we're out of the boatyard. It's always nicer to have your boat floating in the salt chuck like it was intended to be used. It's quite remarkably beautiful as soon as you get on the water. Everything becomes calmer. Nature starts to come out. You can see such a vast, long horizon. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and the waves rock you to sleep. Last few nights since we left the boatyard have been cool for sure. We don't have any heat on board right now, so relying on a heat blanket to heat the bunk up in advance of sliding in there, which works tremendously. They draw so little. I think every boat should have it. If you've got an inverter, get yourself a heat blanket for every cabin and every bunk. Keep it on low, and they draw absolutely nothing, but they contribute a really nice warmth to the bunk, keep everything dry and just really nice to crawl into. So that's been a game changer. The wind has been predictable, but it has been breezy. One night we had recorded 46, 47 knots from the southwest, which is from our anchorage quite protected. The gusts were strong, but there was no ability for the sea state to build up. So no fetch, just a decent amount of breeze consistently with some gusts that you definitely heard go through the rigging. Esperanza's pretty good in those conditions. She's a big, heavy, full-keeled sailboat, so she's pretty solid. She still sails around, which I'm working on. I'd love to hear your comments on whether or not I should roll out a little bit of the mizzen or a centerboard catch. So also wonder if we should put down the centerboard in those conditions and see if that helps anything. 2 tests that I haven't done but are on the list to do. So now that we've transitioned from the boatyard, I got to get back into boat work and fixing up Esperanza further. So our philosophy is, if it's sunny or warm and not raining outside, work outside. If it's cold, rainy, and crappy outside, into the interior you go. Well, this is the starboard side looking forward in the garage. You can see the work we did on the port side. So as I said, as a project, when it's raining, I have to get down here and start templating out some more 3/8 marine ply and put the marine ply on the starboard side of the forepeak here. We're all prepared to do that, and that's up next. Most likely 45 feet. If I had to guess and pick it, it's probably a 45-foot run to get to the dryer from the electrical disposition, from the electrical panel. So that's important. I have to figure out, due to the length, using the ABYC chart, what grade wire I have to run. So that'll be a something 3, 45 feet long. And over on the port side is our Northern Lights generator, and you can see a domestic hose sitting on top there. There's a vent that comes off the exhaust, wet exhaust oil, just off the top of the head here. And right off the top of the head, there's a hose that takes some of the exhaust and fumes into a little filter. There's a filter here as well And I'm going to take this hose off and try to exit that additional smell and fumes out through that through hull. Not what it's designed for, but I'm trying to figure out a way to best vent this outside over the side. So this little filter is not capturing the carbons and the drippy oil that comes off the top of the head. So if anyone knows, comments below. So if anyone knows and give me a comment below, if anyone can comment below on this exhaust, on this head of this Northern Lights generator, how we're properly supposed to exhaust this, because a little bit of a drippy oil comes out of there and obviously some carbon, so it gets kind of stinky at times. So I've been venting it out over the side through a little filter, but there must be a better way of doing that. I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below. It ends up having some pretty good lugs on the end when you get that size wire. So maybe it's a 10, but actually now that I'm remembering electricity, it's AC, so that's not such an issue in AC. So I have to get that marine cable and also get a, how do I describe it? I'm installing the receptacles for the 120 and the 240 on surface mount. Just because we insulated the hull, I don't want to cut through the bulkhead, dig away the insulation, and then have the electrical plug close to the aluminum surface. So I'm gonna leave all that insulated, leave the plywood on, and just do surface mount. It's up in the garage, so I'll show you in a video, or in this video, I'll cut to that and show you what I'm talking about. So as you heard, I had a long list of projects, and that sun that I had turned into rain. So I'm in behind the washer and dryer here in the garage. And I just installed the GFI, as well as the hot and cold lines to the back of the wash machine. So I did a surface mount, and she's just ready to go. As well, we have to figure out about fastening the washer and dryer to the new garage structure, the aluminum racking. So there's no shortage of aluminum and 3/4 inch plywood there, but I just have to figure out how to bolt them in place so that they don't move around. Esperanza's big boat, but when you're sailing, they move. So we gotta fix those to the structure. So now that the port side of the garage welding is done and the woodwork is done, I'm going to focus in on securing the washer and dryer so that when we're sailing, they're not moving around. They are all wired except that on the wash machine's wired, except the dryer needs to have its electrical pulled and the vent connected. And then I just need to figure out to fasten the washer and dryer to the 3/4 inch plywood and aluminum racking so that they stay in their location when we're out sailing. Then I think I'm on to some electrical back aft. No, let's edit that out. I have some routine stuff. It's time of the season to do an oil change, to do a transmission change, check the impellers, and recheck the pencil zincs in the 3306 Caterpillar. So I'll get at that. That's a rainy day project for sure. Both of those are rainy day projects. Now that we're back in the water, I'm going to pay some attention to the Marine Cat. I'm going to service it and the following things I'm going to address. I'm going to do a fuel filter change, Raycor filter change. I'm going to do a oil change, a transmission oil change, check the pencil zincs, and check the impeller. We got our seasonal few gallons of 32nd. Connie and I used the 32nd from Home Depot to just hit our teak cap rail so that we get the green and the winter muck out of that. So stay tuned. You can see that cap rail down there running aft. Well, we have 200 feet of that cap rail to give a rub to and get it cleaned up here for this season. I've got a new masthead light, and I've got to get up the mast and get over my fears of going up 103, 105 feet. Get up there and drill and tap 3 stainless steel quarter or 5/16 bolts into the masthead and install the beautiful brand new lamp that Connie purchased for a birthday of mine, all around 360 white. So a little electrical and a little structural attachment there, which shouldn't be a big deal, but it needs to be done. I've been procrastinating on that way too long to replace the existing. Probably go aloft and also do a rig inspection, just checking everything. That's on the to-do outside. I want to bring out the Genoa and on a calm day, which I should be doing right now, but look at it, it's like a pond or a lake I'm in. This is a perfect time to haul up the Genoa and furl that so that that's put away and accessible for sailing. This year, I got to get the running backstays back online. When we took the teak decks off, I ended up taking the big clutch levers off the deck. And so I have to figure out how to reinstall the deck end of the running backstays. On a ketch, it's so nice to have a head sail and the mizzen and having the cutter stay and having the choice of jibs so that I can pick and choose in the weather conditions with a little mizzen is really, really critical. So that's the project that I have to get on to. If I look aft there, you can see the yellow line and the stainless steel shroud just sitting there waiting for attachment. It's just tied there, which is not the right way to do it. On deck there, you can see a very, very long spinnaker pole. Spinnaker pole's back on deck. That has to go in its mast on the fore end of the mast. We'll put it on the fore pole and then lift it up into a bracket. So that'll have to run a new topping lift for that and put that in. In addition to those projects, inside I also have the deck head liner down. So I need to start purchasing my 3/8 marine grade plywood to start to prep those surfaces. One, get it CNC'd so it looks tongue and groove, prime it, paint it, template it, attach it. So I have about 8 sheets to do to complete the deck head. So here's an example of the deck head liner that we put in the aft cabin. You can see the lights that we installed and the tongue and groove look to the ceiling with the cross beams. The tongue and groove paneling is actually just 3/8 plywood, marine plywood, cut on the CNC machine, and then epoxy sealed and then primed and painted. It turned out quite well, and we're super happy with that look. And so that's the look that we're going to carry forward. So here, going down the companionway or the hallway, you can see the red lights on here. And then I'll just go through here and you'll start to look up and past the electrical panel and you can see the deck head. So that's where the project's going to expand to finish this deck head. So we will do the same as the aft cabin and template out the paneling for the deck head, get the marine plywood cut on the CNC machine, and then install it up on deck and add the lights and 2 fans up forward there. So I just need to get started, and even if it's with 2 at a time, 4 even a batch of 4. A batch of 4 would allow me to do a section. I have 2 sections to do. No, that's not true. 3 sections. I have the salon to do. I have the galley to do. And I have the captain's cabin deck head to do. So there's no reason why, even with 1 sheet, I couldn't finish the captain's cabin deck head and head on the starboard side as a beginning. So that's another internal project that I'm excited to begin. It's been way too long. I do it on my own, but I'm just not as confident as my friend Dave Richardson at, I can make the templates, but when it comes to cutting out the pattern and making sure it fits as nice as he does it is where I run into, well, I run short on my capabilities. But, I guess if I don't try, I'll never get better. So I'm good at painting. I'm good at doing all that. I can make the template. I can prep it all. But it's sure nice to have someone help you just cut that out and make sure it fits really snug, because it's a big visual piece. So yeah, the deck head liners are going to be critical. So that's probably enough rambling on with project updates. If you want to go sailing, Esperanza is in the water, and she's a beautiful sailboat to go out in. So reach out and contact us. That's the intention, is to use this amazing craft to explore an adventure. Now there's a whole host of other things, but probably way more exciting if I showed you those down below. So I think I'm going to cut that off there. I love when you're at anchor and you have no wind, and then you can watch as the wind just begins to fill in. So we're supposed to have a little bit of southeast, 10, 12 knots maybe, quite variable. But when it's so calm, you can see from a very long distance away as the clouds roll over and bring the little systems. It's fun to watch and learn how it works and what effects it has on the boat. Here's an interesting angle from up on the bow. Just as this slight breeze rolls in and swings us around, pointing into the east, southeast. Esperanza is just gradually swinging around on her pick here. And a beautiful evening. Good morning. It's a rainy day, so I'm down below working on electrical job. As I was saying earlier to you, I had to run the AC washer, 3-strand wire, and then the AC captain's head 3-strand wire. They run forward to the captain's head for a GFI plug in the head, and then forward to the garage where the wash machine is with the GFI plug. So I'm just running new cables. I've run it and I've attached it at the opposite end with the plugs, and now I'm just hooking it up here to the disposition. So now I'm just plugging it in here. As you can see, this is a bit of a mess. We've been working at changing this over the years. We rewired the entire boat. And so everything from the end of the application back to this central area is all new wire and new ends and new devices on the end. In this closet here, we left large service loops with everything, the DC side and the AC side, because our intention is to replace these breakers and the wiring internally here. And that's the last phase of the electrical work. So it does look like a bit of a mess, but there's a plan behind it. So I just stripped back the wire, 3-strand. I like to heat shrink the ends here. So I'm just heat shrinking these ends so that we cover where I've taken the covering off. I think it just tidies it up. And I label it. So yeah, it's exciting to get to this stage and eventually actually take all these. What we'll do is we'll label every connection here. Well, let me back up. They're labeled on the cable. So let me back up. They're labeled on the wire right now. We'll test to make sure that we've got that all correct. We'll undo all of these connections, and then we'll go to terminal, a different type of breaker and a better system in here. This is a very large old cabinet that was originally with the boat. We'll probably try to use the frame as much as we can because it opens up and it's quite accessible and lots of room and is built into the boat. So we'll kind of retrofit and use as much of this as we can. So I gotta get some terminal ends here, some ring terminals. There's a shout out for Milwaukee Pack Out. You're doing a job on a boat, these things are fabulous. You put all your supplies in there, you come to your job. You don't have to go back and forth to find things, and they're right there. And these babies clip in, perfect for sailing, don't fall, everything's in there. I don't know how you could do any job without one of these. So I think Milwaukee needs to design a marine division for their products, or at least market to the marine sector. For some reason, I like the electrical work on a vessel. Well, I like most boat work, but doing electrical is kind of fun. Once you figure it out and map it out, it's quite rewarding. So it's not every night you get to arrive at your boat and be greeted by such an amazing natural spectacle. The heron is just sitting there guarding the entrance to the club. Hello, Mr. Heron. I don't want to interrupt you. Are you having a good evening? Are you fishing? What are you doing there? Permission to come aboard? And off he or she goes. So this morning the regional police camp begins the on-water activities, and the Canadian Coast Guard, along with the Transport Canada's Department of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, are all here with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and they're having a whole day on the water where they're teaching the students and exposing them to the marine industry, which is super exciting. So there's one of the vessels just laying hook here in Cabro Bay, and just if I walk to the bow, you'll start to see the fleet emerging. So they're just coming off the visitor's dock here in Cabro Bay. A nice foggy morning for getting out in the water and experiencing this. And they've got a whole host of vessels. The shipwrighter guys for the border protection, Coast Guard rescue, fisheries. So yeah, the students are going to get an incredible experience learning about everything they can do on the water. It's a very diverse economy. There's lots of very interesting roles to play. The innovation and the technology alone in some of these vessels is incredible.
Good morning.
Hey, Greg.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Nice. Great. Great day for this, eh?
Yeah. No, really.
Oh, you'll have fun. You'll learn lots.
Oh, no, I will.
Eh?
It's exciting.
And you got a great boat and a great captain.
Right? It's got a great start. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. We'll talk to you in a while. Have fun on the water, you guys.
Hey, have a good day.
You too. Enjoy.
Oh, we will.
So it's nice. They got a little fog. Wind is down, but the students, I'm sure, will go through a whole bunch of joint exercises and learn a lot about what all these men and women do on the water. So that's pretty exciting for them. And again, some of these vessels are really tricked out with new innovation. Those big ribs are really quite an experience. See the Coast Guard search and rescue vessel up ahead there. So off they go towards Baines Channel to do some exercise.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really want if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.